Oh, I got it.
Good evening and welcome to the Unprofessional Professional Sports Podcast. I am BA along here with Keith Engel and TGI Sports Talk and Bo Crouch with Football Talk with Bo. I hope you gentlemen are doing well this evening. Unfortunately, our USA baseball team is not doing well this evening because they lost to Venezuela yesterday, 3-2. Where can we start? I
guess we can start with Venezuela's pitching looked great.
Great.
And the offense for USA was not isolated to this game, struggling, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did just enough against the Dominican, but they built a roster that was, jacket out of the stadium, and like 3-point shooters in basketball, if they're not landing, you don't win. And we just didn't have guys on the roster that could smack the ball, get it in play, and try and win a game with small ball. It was, you got to yank it out or you're going home. And, they went home.
And they had showed that much of the tournament, right? A lot of their runs have been scored on home runs, except for a game or two, which really kind of surprised me that DeRosa left Cal Raleigh on the bench last night, knowing that, long ball was going to probably decide this final, but he leaves his most prolific, arguably, home run hitter on the bench, which was a little shocking. I thought the USA pitching was good too. Nolan McLean pitched well, a couple of mistakes, but again, when you're facing this caliber of talent, you expect a few mistakes, right? And you would think if you said they were going to give up 3 runs. You'd think they were going to win. I would have. But again, as Bo said, they just did not. They didn't come through. And unfortunately, the narrative for Aaron Judge is going to be he fails again in a clutch with 0 for 4 and 3 strikeouts last night.
Like it's hard to argue against it.
No, it's not. I don't have an argument when you do that. You don't come up big.
It's Kirk Cousins primetime action, right? You're just like, I want to say you're wrong, but the stats say you're not.
and I think there's something, and Jack has been banging me over the head with this for 3 weeks about this, that the countries like Venezuela want to win more than U.S. That these countries want to win more than we do. But I think there's something to that.
Sure.
Not that these guys weren't out there trying to win, and they showed excitement in a different way than the Latin American countries do. They're allowed to kind of go there and be themselves when they play in this tournament, right? And they do it. And you just watching them. I wasn't happy they lost last night, but watching the joy on this Venezuelan team was fun to see as well. If you're a baseball fan, and it means a lot to them. It means a lot to their country. So congratulations to them. I think Mark DeRosa probably won't be managing his team again in 4 years. But it's not necessarily his fault. What I don't like, MLB has got to stop controlling everything. Mason Miller needs to be in that game last night in the 9th inning. And DeRosa made it clear that, he was told by the Padres, he didn't say it outright, but he was told by the Padres he could pitch in a closing situation only. It's just ridiculous. Fine, tell me 1 inning and get him out of there, but he needs to be pitching at 9th inning. Bednar doesn't get in the game. I don't want to lose that game with Garrett Whitlock on the mound. That's, freaking Red Sox.
Yeah, it's not giving Cal a shot. The fact that there was no adjustments roster-wise in the last couple innings, right? Like you're trailing, Harper hasn't yacked that thing out yet. Like, how do you not have Cal come in and pinch hit? Now, don't get me wrong. He did nothing offensively in this series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get why he wasn't in the game, but nobody was hitting. So you got to try something, right? And so that's where I didn't like this. And I think you're right. DeRosa's probably not going to manage this again. If he does, they're probably going to send him to, some math 101 classes just so that he understands how, the whole system works.
I would have got Gunnar Henderson in that game sooner as well. He got a pinch hitting shot in the ninth, but as soon as they got the lefty Rodriguez out of the game, I think I would have put Gunnar in then for Bregman, because Bregman wasn't doing anything offensively pretty much the entire tournament. So I think Henderson had played well. So I think I would have made that move as soon as they went to the right-handers out of the bullpen.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask a question. Do you think the game against Italy was something that was inevitable for the USA to lose this game? I'm just saying, it just in the circumstances that happened in that game, and just the fact they lost. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that went into that game. One, that your manager thought that they had already punched their ticket and allowed their guys to just kind of do whatever. There was talk of some of the guys that were out late partying and whatever because they weren't taking this game seriously. And that's why I made that math comment. Like, if he's going to do it again, they're going to have to teach him some math so he understands that you have to actually win games.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, so there was a lot that went into that. When you looked at the lineup for that game, you could tell they weren't taking that game seriously. So it was, they didn't even do any kind of adjustments until way late in the game to they're like, oh, I guess we should at least try and make this competitive. But I mean, when you watch them roll that lineup out, you're like, oh, you literally are taking this game off. Like, you're not trying today.
His pitching changes too. I said Sunday morning, Bo, that I'm not convinced he knew. I'm not convinced he knew he needed to win that game until he sat down Clayton Kershaw. He was going to bring him in the game with the game still in doubt, with the bases loaded, and he sat him down. I think somebody finally said, we kind of need to win this game. And I don't know that he knew till that point in the game, which was late. Yeah. I mean, the pitching moves he made, Yarbrough went way too long. And I don't know if I brought Yarbrough in that spot anyway when I've got other options, and he went with them too long. So I think I don't think he knew he had to win.
They made it look like they're like, oh, you know what? We don't need this game. Let's just make sure everyone gets to play.
Yeah.
Right? Like, anybody that hasn't played yet, we're going to throw you in this game. And it ended up being like the most janky lineup possible. What I don't get is how no one else in the room didn't know math. Like, it wasn't just him. Like, if it was just him, you'd be like, okay, you know what? Fair enough. You're good at baseball. Maybe the math ain't the thing. But no one in the room could figure out that you need to win this game prior to going into this game. Like, somebody didn't look at that lineup and be like, how about we don't do any of that?
Well, just in a nutshell, though, I mean, think about it. The way they set their lineup for that game, and they didn't necessarily figure they were going to lose the game, but it's always the Herm Edwards line. You play to win the game, and that not taking it seriously and putting some janky lineup in there is telling me you weren't serious about this whole thing all along. So it might have been to the fact that they weren't serious about it. So
yeah. Well,
I mean, DeRosa said himself, to Bo's point about them partying, he said they were sitting around just talking baseball right in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
But he said, I had a lot of guys dragging today. And I mean, I know what that's code for, by the way. So,
yeah, brown bottle flu is what that was. To your point, at the beginning, though, going up against a team like Venezuela, it does mean more to them, right? The U.S. is used to winning. This is the first time they ever have. They are a much hungrier team. No question, right?
Without a doubt. But I will tell Juan Soto from the Dominican Republic the same thing I would tell, I can't remember the guy's, the Canadian hockey player. After you lose, you don't say, I think we showed everybody in the world tonight who the best team in baseball is. You just lost. All I need to do is look at the scoreboard.
Yep.
It's not you.
lackluster performances. That catches up to them when it needs to be counted. And yeah, I mean, I think in general, the public felt the same way about the WBC as a USA. I'm talking about Americans in general. I'm not saying all Americans. I think Americans are always pushing for the USA to win and win out. But at the same time, it's not the Olympics. I think we had this conversation before. It's not. If it was the Olympics, the level of excitement might be a little bit higher. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I really wasn't. I paid attention to it partially, kind of like the American team did to their whole thing. So, I mean, I was partially involved, but I wasn't that involved. If it was the Olympics, I would definitely be nose deep in that. Yes.
Well, I was 100% sold. I watched all the games basically. Not even if the U.S. wasn't playing, I'm still watching games because that's much better baseball to me than exhibition league games in Florida or in Arizona. But I think the time of year that they play this, and it's very hard. I know would be very hard to do. They're not going to shut down, baseball for an extra week at the All-Star break and not play an All-Star game, I suppose, every 4 years. But to me, you need to do something like that because part of this is, first of all, the pitchers are always ahead of the hitters right this time of year, right? And the hitters kind of showed that for the U.S. anyway, if not the rest of the world.
Yeah, it is unfortunate timing for sure, but at the same time, I mean, you have a lot of vets on that team, right? Like it's not like you had a bunch of rookies that you're just like, oh, you're having to figure it out. These guys knew this was coming, right? So I mean, like if you needed to do some extra work to get your hitting in line prior to this, it seems like you'd want to. I don't know. Again, I'm mildly competitive. If I'm playing, I want to win.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I would assume that if you were playing in a world event such as that and you were representing your country, you would want to win, no matter if you thought you were going to be able to skate in or not. Just win. Just show up. Play the game to win. I'm not understanding where the US's philosophy was in that whole series. But like Robert, this is what I mean about fans. They really care about their team. They don't really care about the WBC. They just as long as their guys are not, don't get hurt and come back and play. They're worried about World Series and stuff like that. They're not worried about the
you get hurt in spring training just as easy and get hurt.
This is true.
I don't buy any of that.
That's what I was going to say. Like this, even if you do get hurt now, you're still going to be like, baseball's a marathon.
Yeah.
Like you can get hurt and be out for 3 months and still have half the season. Like, you'll be fine. But now for me, like whether it's a football championship or cornhole in somebody's backyard, I'm there to win.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the competitive side of every, what's normal in people that have played sports before. So, or anything really, to tell you the truth. But I mean, sports, most likely people that are very competitive want to win. And I don't understand where the mindset was of Team USA. I really
it's Major League Baseball. It's the teams themselves that are putting too many restrictions on, especially the pitchers, obviously. And I know they got to keep them healthy, but I'll go back to the Mason Miller thing. You can't pitch unless you're behind in this game. I'm only going to let you pitch him in a safe situation. And the who was the manager for Venezuela was Soto? Can't remember his name now. Was it?
Pujols, right?
Pujols was the Dominican Republic.
That's right.
They were talking this morning about how he was on the phone with like 5 different managers last night, a Major League Baseball manager, or I should say, with the organizations to find out who he could pitch and how he could use them in his bullpen last night. So that's got to be an outrageous undertaking for these guys managing these teams when you can't have any autonomy, basically, right?
Yeah.
So they have to make some changes here somehow.
Come on, Robbie. You don't want your all-star pitcher to get hurt. Come on. He's good for one win every or 5 games. At least,
I
like
don't
a
know.
week.
I'm looking at it as if you accept the task to go play in this thing, then if you get hurt, you get hurt.
You're all in.
Yeah, like go win the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like
stop worrying about your contracts. Stop worrying about the teams you got to go back to play. That I think that's all in their head as well. It's more the contracts. If they get hurt.
Rob, you were talking about Cal. Are we just ignoring the fact that the Mariners had a player on virtually every team?
Every team, I think, yeah.
Like there was
maybe the Italians.
18 Mariners within the Mariners organization playing in the WBC. So, like, if you care about players, you got to care about all of them, right?
I don't care about what do we care about older players? If you're there to play, it doesn't matter whether you're young, old, or in between. Who cares?
No, but that's what I mean. Like, you can't be like, well, you don't want Cal to get hurt. Well, there was 17 other Mariners, so I mean, I guess we got to pull them all, right?
Yeah, there were some good things in this tournament, though. The tournament itself is certainly worthwhile, and it's exciting and it's fun because you get to see these countries that really want to win. And they still have the same things to go through, by the way. Everybody played for Team Italy, then plays in the Major League Baseball organization, had to abide by the same stuff. And Italy's a great story. Getting to see a guy like Bobby Witt with such a great talent. We know Bobby Witt's a great talent, but nobody gets to see it on this type of stage. You saw some great baseball out of Bobby Witt the last 2 weeks, I'll tell you. And that was a lot of fun to watch. So there's good stuff to take away from this, but it leaves you a better taste, And the umpiring was fine. The whole nonsense about the last strike against the Dominican Republic. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm 66 years old almost, and I would play baseball for a long time. I coached baseball for a long time, and that was a strike for almost the entire time I played or coached, because it's not where the guy catches the ball. Stop screaming for ABS and all this other nonsense, because that can be played with just as well as people who are doing it, humans that are doing it. Somebody's got to program that software. You got to measure players. So what if you don't measure the guy right? It's just
the measurement is hilarious anyway, right? Because they want you standing fully upright to do the measurement, and then when you get into your batting stance,
they change it. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want this, and I know that I don't have much of an argument left about it, but they didn't win because of that one strike. It's 66 years again. You swing at that because it's too close to take.
Yeah.
And Carlos, to your point that you're making here, with Japan had 100 million views. These are countries that use this as a world view, so they're more into this whole situation than the U.S. is. We got that la approach to stuff sometimes, and it means more to the other countries than it does mean to us. So it is coming. That's understandable.
Jack had a great answer actually for that Soto comment about everybody saw tonight who the best team was when they lost. He said the guy should have answered, "Yeah, we know Japan's the best team, but they're not here anymore."
You got some PTSD. Yeah, fair enough. But at the same time, when you have that many people that are involved, then you can't just protect the one player, right? Like you'd have to. Like if you're going to pull a Mariner, you got to pull all the Mariners. So that would strip players from just about every single team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drew Smiley. You'd be better off with Drew Smiley getting hurt anyway than pitching anyway, wouldn't you?
There's a name from a blast from the past right there. Drew Smiley.
We're going to stop this tournament because Drew Smiley got hurt? Come on.
All right.
Robert, you're better than that.
Drew Smiley on top of it. It's not good to see any player hurt, and I'm not saying that.
I don't want to see guys get hurt.
No question there, Carlos. The best team won, right? That's what happens. You on paper, you may lose 9 out of 10 times, but you were the best team that day, and that's all that matters. When you're in a scenario where it's one and done, you got to be the best once.
Seen it up close, and yes, got to win.
Well, hopefully next time they come to play. And we don't have any of this stuff. I think they might learn from this process. I hope they learn from this process and they do better next time.
Because the last time it was against Japan and they did the same thing.
This is the best team they put together. So I think they're starting to do better job recruiting and getting the best players there. I think this is the best team they put together, quite frankly.
Players can get hurt in batting practice. Like, what do we do? Players get hurt climbing out of their car.
Guys get hurt sneezing for crap.
The stats are fine and getting in there because you're playing well. It's the mentality that has to change. The mentality has to be, all or nothing. Yeah, that's what the mentality is. Have to you say. So I mean, I understand they got the bats and the pitching, but they got to have the mentality.
I would love to see Pete Rose play in the WBC, man. How fun would that? I mean, in his prime, not 90 years old.
Oddly enough, he had the same amount of hits in that final as Judge did. So,
All right. On to March Madness, which has begun with the first four. The two games that have already happened were the Texas beats NC State 68-60. They will be going ahead to play in the West, BYU 6 seed in the West. And it was a really good game. Actually, both these games yesterday were really, really good. Now, I don't know how that's going to translate when they have to play in the tournament, but
it's not.
I usually feel if they're that close in the first four, they're probably going to be pretty much mushed when they get into the actual tournament. So there was that one, and there was also Howard beating UMBC. And Keith, what does UMBC stand for? Because you're near there.
Oh Jesus, I don't remember now. Good, you don't. It's something Maryland, Baltimore, University of Maryland, Baltimore College, I think.
Yep.
I'm like close.
Got it. Good job.
Wait. You have university and college in the same title?
No. Yeah. Well, it's Maryland. They don't.
Maryland.
No, I mean that's odd, right?
It is odd.
One or the other.
I will not disagree. That's odd. Yes.
And the prize for Howard beating UMBC is number 1 seed in Michigan in the Midwest. So congratulations.
You're on your way home.
It was nice for you to show up.
Yes.
Anyway.
I mean, the field is always so big that nobody that's down in that end is going to do anything, right? Like sometimes you can end up with a 12 seed that upsets and then they get smoked the next round anyway. But I mean, none of those Cinderella stories ever finish, right? Like best case, a Cinderella story, it comes to an end in like the Elite Eight, right? They get a few upsets in. It's like, you're not going to run the table. There's too many rounds.
We've had a few Final Fours that had surprises, right? We had Butler get into the Final Four a bunch of years ago. In fact, in that same Final Four, George Mason makes it and VCU makes it. That's an outlier of outrageous proportion, right? I mean, you're more likely to see 4 number ones going forward, like you saw last year. I think for the first time in about, I don't know, quite a while anyway. The rules in basketball hurt these mid-majors and Cinderellas in this tournament because the experience factor the things that level the playing field with the big boys, right? Guys playing together for 4 years, experienced backcourts, all those field leveling things are gone now because of NIL and transfer portal and everything else. So you don't get that X factor for these guys to make a deep run into this tournament. I
mean, you do. You just don't get it on the men's side anymore.
That's true. That's
the women's side, you actually do get that still.
Don't put money on your Jordan. At 6:40 p.m. Eastern time today, Prairie View will be playing Lehigh for the chance to play number 1 seeded Florida in the South region. Good luck there. And Miami of Ohio, which has been a big thing for Keith in this whole thing, they're going to be playing SMU to the right to play number 6 seed Tennessee in the Midwest region. There's another thing I want to ask you about. Is it because 1 and 2, when you get the 1 and the 2 seeds, you don't have to play the first 4, one of the teams in the first 4? Is that how they work? Because it's kind of weird how they got these spread it around.
The 11. It's the last 4 at-large teams, and they're slotted in the 11 seeds all the time. They have to play in this tournament. 2 11s are in. So I'm sorry, that's the last 2. No, it's the last.
So 2 11s and 2 16s.
Right, you're playing for 2.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
think of it like a playing game.
Yeah. And they make it so it's the 2 last teams that made the tournament, basically. The 2 worst ranked automatic bids and the 2 last at-large teams, or the 4, I should say. I'm having trouble tonight. 4 worst ranked auto bids and 4 last at-large teams have to play off to get 2 spots. That is for the if you guys, and Bo and Brian, that's for the brackets. I saw somebody ask about it. So if somebody wants to go in that link, you can join our TGI Sports Talk pool anyway.
I think it was Rob that asked, who we had for overall. Now, the March Madness seeding. Now, did you guys have any problem with any of the seeding in this tournament?
One place I can pick, St. John's got totally screwed in my mind, getting a 5 seed. They've won 19 of the last 20 games. They beat Connecticut twice. They ran them off the court in the Big East tournament. They end up with a 5 seed. Connecticut's seeded higher, and they get shipped out west. I hate this pod system, by the way. They're playing in East. They're playing in the East region, but they're getting shipped out west to play the first couple of rounds. The whole pod system, and it's been around for a while now. I hate it. It used to be if you played in a region, you went and you play. All the teams
stayed in that region.
Mm-hmm. I just hate the way they do this. I think St. John's really got disrespected. That's one team I can come up with off the top of my head. And I think Miami of Ohio, having to play in the first 4, probably was disrespected a little bit as well. I'm okay with the 1 seeds. The 1 seeds are fine, And
I was going to say, I didn't see anything at the top that I was like.
St. John's is the biggest thing to me.
Yeah.
I think they got disrespected a lot, playing as well as anybody in the country.
So what games are you looking forward to in this tournament? I mean, right off the bat, I'm not the one versus the 16. I'm not even feeling those games. A lot of people are hyping on the Kentucky Santa Clara game as an upset. You think that's a possibility for Kentucky to be upset in that, or is that just a lot of hoopla?
I think Santa Clara's got a chance to win that game. It's a 10-7 matchup, so it's not like Kentucky is, eons ahead of Santa Clara. Santa Clara played really good in an underrated conference with St. Mary's and Gonzaga. I think they've got a chance to win this game. And Kentucky's been very up and down. There's a lot of teams. And listen, with that said, Kentucky could, make their way to the Final Four because there's talent there. I mean, they're one of those teams. Kansas is another one. They could go out early here, or they could get hot and win 5 games or 6 games because they're a lot of inconsistent teams outside of the top 4 right now that could make runs late in this tournament. I think Santa Clara could win this. I like High Point, potentially an upset in the first round. And McNeese is not McNeese State anymore. It's McNeese. They won last year. They won their first round game. I think they might win 2 games. I like the way they play.
So you're saying Wisconsin will
I think Wisconsin goes down to
High Point. Will Nebraska win their first
I believe I have Nebraska winning it, and that's a big story here, right? It's hard to believe that a school like Nebraska, not known for basketball, I get it, has never won a NCAA game, but I think they win against Troy. Troy's another name that people are throwing out there as a first round upset, but I'd like Nebraska to win that game.
Yeah, I see that you're right. Houston is going to be one of those surprise teams. So I think Iowa State and Houston, to me, are the most intriguing teams in either their brackets because I think they could be a potential Final Four candidates. Iowa State is playing some pretty good ball, and so is Houston. Houston's been doing that though.
I have Houston getting to the Final Four, but losing.
I got Houston versus Duke.
Yeah.
Actually, in my bracket, I haven't completed anything yet, really. I've just completed two sides, the East and the South. I actually got Vandy upset in Florida again.
Oh, really?
And then Houston, smacked Vandy. So there you go.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Like, for me, I want to see the Zags do something, right? And then the team I'd love to see ever make it back into the tournament ever, the UW, just never going to happen. Like, they had Isaiah, and then they're like, you know what? We're just done trying to win here.
yeah, I like Gonzaga because they're kind of under the radar, and I know their star players hurt, but their big man inside they got a really good inside game. They've got really good defense. Usually it's an offense we're focusing on. I like Gonzaga to make a run to the Final Four here. In fact, in my bracket of integrity, I have them winning it all.
Wow.
Bracket of integrity.
Interesting.
I have St. John's, Florida, Gonzaga, and Michigan in the Final Four.
Wow.
And Gonzaga beating Florida in the final.
You got Michigan in the Final Four, huh?
I do.
I would love that, especially when you think of how many times the Zags have been a number one seed and just they can never get it done. I think they've gone to the Final Four twice. Just for whatever reason, like it's a great basketball school that just comes up short, usually in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. Like, that's usually where they flame out.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see them just finally run the table and get it done once. This isn't that year, but it would be cool if they, if they pull it off once. They have injuries, right? So I don't think they're gonna have a sustained run.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed this year because one of my favorite teams that I like to have in the NCAA tournament is Xavier. Xavier did not do very well this year, and that was kind of, bad for me because I like Xavier. They usually are a pretty good basketball program, but they just didn't get done this year. So
they often play well in the tournament too. They get to the Sweet 16 fairly consistently once they get in.
Yeah, they're a problem for people once they play, and
that's probably one of the reasons, by the way, that St. John's has been disrespected a little bit with their seeding and whatnot, is because the Big East was down. They only had 3 teams in, and below the top 3 teams, the middle of this league has really gotten. The middle of this league used to be really good, and the bottom was bad, but the bottom and the middle kind of met a little bit this year with Marquette being way down, Creighton being way down, Xavier being way down.
It's the haves and have-nots.
Yeah, Providence, who has had a bad couple 3 years, fired their coach. But this league has gotten. It's not what it was in the 80s and 90s, obviously, but it had making a comeback the last few years, and this year was not one of those years. And I think it hurt St. John's because of the level.
Another team that I think that could possibly have an upset. Well, I wouldn't call it an upset because it's not that much of a. Well, it's a 10-6. VCU over North Carolina.
Like VCU.
Mm-hmm. VCU has been playing pretty good ball, too. North Carolina, they still have one of their primary players out, too, don't they?
Wilson, he'll be out for the whole tournament. Yes. So I think they go down. And I think VCU could beat Illinois as well. I see. I haven't that. By Houston. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see them beating Houston, but
no.
I can see them beating North Carolina and Illinois. Duke, speaking of people that are getting hurt, they've lost their guard and one of their centers now for the tournament. Cameron Boozer's twin brother, he is going to have to step up in his role. And do you think that? I mean, he's a good player, but I guess he's not the headliner between the two, obviously.
No.
Do you think this is going to hinder Duke in any kind of way? Do you think when it comes to, because they have a very competitive bracket,
very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So you have them slated to lose to Siena right away?
No. As much as I'd like to see the Saints, because they're about 10 minutes from my house, pull an upset, and they do have some wins in this tournament. They've won 4 times in the NCAA tournament. It's not going to be today. they're going to get beat up pretty good tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it's tomorrow. I think Duke loses to St. John's in the. I think it would be the Elite Eight where they can meet. Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
That's going to answer your question. Actually, it's going to affect them obviously because I mean they had a nail biter against Florida State in the ACC tournament. They did end winning the tournament, but they certainly weren't as good as they've been here these last couple of months with Foster out specifically and some of the other guys we talked about. So, but John Shire's a good coach. He'll find a way to keep this team competitive and I'm not going to be shocked if they get to the Final Four, quite frankly. I just think St. John's, Rick Pitino's doing a great job, as he always does, wherever he goes. Coaching is not Rick Pitino's issue or issues. It's not one of them. And he's done a great job. And I think this might be the year St. John's finally makes the run. I thought they'd make last year, actually, for his best team.
Yeah, they got quite a few really good teams in the East bracket. Louisville, MSU, UCLA, UConn. The UCLA is kind of a weird one, though, for me in that bracket. They're just like an up and down team. Sometimes they play really good, and other times they look eh. And they're playing UConn. And UConn has been great to a point, and then they lost a couple of games. It's kind of like they couldn't get their butt off the cement on that one. And I don't know, between those two, if they win their respective brackets, which I think they should, if they meet, it's going to be a good game because I don't know which one. I got UConn winning, but
yeah.
I have UCLA winning that game actually, and they've been they're one of the teams that I was referring to. I should have included them in that list with Kansas and these other teams that have been up and down, and they played very well at home. I don't think they lost a game in Pauley Pavilion all year, but they haven't played good away from home, which obviously they'll be for the whole way here. So I'm not sure what my thinking is. I like Mick Cronin a lot. I think he's a really underrated coach. He has media issues from time to time, but I think his team's going to win a couple of games.
That's a solid strategy there, Jay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anything that has to do with college and football and basketball, I'm rolling with Keith on that one. Let me tell you, because
I don't know.
He knows how to pick them pretty well. Now Louisville and South Florida? Do you think that might be a good match? I heard South Florida might be a pretty good matchup against Louisville, but I don't know.
Louisville. I think Louisville's too talented. They had a really good year in the ACC. Went out a little early in the tournament, but they're a much better team than South Florida. Well coached. Their coaches actually just removed his name for consideration for the Syracuse job. But I don't think I think Louisville will win that game.
And MSU will be playing. Is that North Dakota State?
Dakota State. Yeah.
Yeah. So they should win that one. So the matchup would be Louisville and MSU. I don't like betting against MSU because Izzo is like the coach. I mean, he's up there like with the likes of Coach K, just not as successful, but he's up there in that same regard. And I can never bet against him. And he's a Michigan State's part of the state I'm in, so I kind of vote for both of them when they're playing in the tournament. So I want them to win, but I just don't see them being as good, and they're going to get probably put out by UConn. I think UConn's a better team than them.
So you have them getting beat by UConn in, I guess, the Elite Eight, probably, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That would be it. Oh no, that'd be this. UConn would be the
they'd be the leader. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I've got UCLA, and this one's not in stone yet, but right now I have UCLA beating Michigan State to get. That wouldn't be the Elite Eight, by the way. The Elite Eight would be St. John's and UCLA that I have.
Yeah.
That'd be the round of 32. We don't have a name for that round.
So, Bo, who you got in your final two? Who's the two that you got? If you got,
I actually didn't roll through a bracket.
I just sent you the link. Get to it.
Right. No excuses.
Yeah, no, I hadn't filled out a bracket this time around. My life has been chaos, so
I'll put it here again for anybody who might be.
But
coming
yeah,
in.
I'll definitely hit that up. In fact,
You don't have to share it again, Brian. But
let me highlight.
That's all right. No, I'll put it back out there
quick,
just in case.
I mean, this would be a rough year for me for sure because I have not followed college basketball the way that I normally do.
Carlos, there's your link there, Carlos.
grab it right there, Carlos. If not, send me a private message. I'll send it to you there.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the funny thing is when you post stuff on here, it only populates to your pages. So we all get to see it on our feed, but it doesn't cross-populate to all the platforms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so important safety tip.
anybody out there wants the link, send me a private message on Facebook on my personal page, and I'll send it to you, or TGI Sports Talk, and I'll get it to you. If you guys don't need it.
Let me see something here. I can probably do this.
See, that's where you
know, it's funny.
Create the QR code for it because then people can just screenshot it.
Yeah. I'm 66 years old. I got time for this QR code shit, man.
I mean, they have a free generator app. That's how I do
it. Well, we're just going to make it simple for the.
What's funny is when I'm broadcasting Bo from my studio and I put it in the messages, it comes up like 8 times.
Well, it will, right?
All the places
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you got to tie it into everything that you got on there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't show up everywhere else that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I actually hadn't thought of that. So.
While I
ran into that. Like I always try and share all of the dumb stuff that I've encountered that I failed at. I'm like, hey, important safety tip. This doesn't work. I know because I did it.
Now I got to go watch a YouTube video on how to QR code the link. Jesus.
You don't. Right in the App Store, there's like 5,000 of them that are free. You just type in your URL and it creates it for you. You don't have to do anything with it.
Yeah, well, I'll try to do that something.
That's even StreamYard. Even StreamYard makes it easy for you, which is.
Do they? What do they do?
I thought you would say that.
Yeah, they do a QR. You can't do it you can't do it for that though.
No, you can't.
Their QR code is just for their link, which is stupid because to generate it, you have to click on the link. You know, it's also easy just sending someone the link because you're not
use AI
sending that out, right? So, thank you, Gino. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's.
I can send Carlos a link right now, but.
Well, why does this thing got to be the longest damn? Oh man.
Yes, Jay, it is.
I don't know why they don't have simple links. I hate these.
Well, I don't know, man. It's just.
There's Carlos. I'll send it to you, Carlos.
You're going to be spending half the show typing stuff in this thing.
Well, this is good entertainment.
Love it. 306.
In fact, I will just post that link in the comments, and that way everybody on my platforms can.
Oh, thank you.
Bam. There we go. So there we go.
We won't have a big crowd. We'll have some fun.
Jay, man, 36 was almost a decade ago now. 45.
You're 45 today?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Happy birthday again.
Appreciate it.
I wouldn't have pegged you for 45.
Really? I thought this gray would have fucking sold that.
I'm sorry, guys, if I didn't get out to all your comments because I was sitting here writing this book.
Most of
let's see. Need to get about 20 of these.
I'm going to tell people I'm
typing sucks. It does, especially when you got to type that.
You got to type it harder though, so that way you get the button clicks. Congrats on surviving this long. I agree.
Yeah.
The amount of dumb stuff that I do currently.
No, you can't copy and paste on there, Jay, from the comments to there. You can't do that. Believe me, trust me. First thing I went to was copy and paste, and it wouldn't work.
He's not Jack Hirsch. Jeez.
Right. Come on now.
Well, you're going to, in another 10 years, you get to the point where, like Mickey Mantle said, if you known you were going to live this long, you'd have taken better care of yourself. So
not a chance, right? Because even if you take the best care of yourself, the last, few years of it are not the best, right? So I look at it this way. You're here for however long you're here. Go beat the thing up. You get kicked off anyway. So rather than try and stroll across home plate, slide into that thing, just beat up. Like,
I don't care what I don't need to leave a good looking corpse. I'm not interested in that.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Wayne.
I don't know what's going on over there, Jay.
Who knows?
Anyway, positivity. Hey,
put a little hand.
When you're as old as all of us as in here, I mean, I don't know how old you guys are in the comment section, but I know I'm 56. You say Keith's 65 and Bo's 45. So we got all the decades, the last 3 decades covered. There you go.
Whoa.
So
yeah. If Jack were here, we'd have the decades.
No, I don't.
Like the 30s covered.
Right. 30s. You sure it's 30s or
I think
when
it was
the Bible was
30s
created.
30s.
Thinking more when the Bible was created. But, let's see here. Well, we're gonna move on from the.
He sees part of this show and is like, I hate these guys.
He does.
You're right. He does. That's why he gives us so much crap on the other shows,
That's right. I settled down on Friday morning, so by Sunday he's not too pissed off. So
there you go, Rob Dizzle. He'll be 44.
Nice.
So you guys are old.
Fellow 80s kid.
There you go.
I'm always asking my commenters how old they are. My HR department's all over me for that. So
we're just going to hit up on a little bit of NBA news and some NHL news. Just for the NBA, just keep it in mind that the Eastern Conference is still led by the Pistons, followed by Boston, New York, Cleveland, Toronto, and Orlando in the top 6 spots. As far as the Western Conference is concerned, OKC, who's already clinched, San Antonio, LA, Houston, Denver, and Minnesota are your top 6 teams in the West. Didn't like the fact that the Pistons lost to Toronto the other night. I don't know what they were doing, but they came back and won yesterday. Does anybody have any variables in how the Eastern Conference could go? Because kind of the West is kind of like a 4-team race to me. I think that maybe the Eastern Conference is too.
I do. I think it's a 4-team race. I think the Celtics might be the favorite right now, quite frankly, once they get gelled completely. Every time I try to write my Knicks off, they win 4 or 5 in a row, which they've done now.
Does it even matter, though? Is anybody from the East going to beat the West?
No.
Exactly.
I think the Celtics could possibly, if they gel the way I think they might, as we go down the stretch here, which we've only got I don't even know how many games are left. 20.
Mm-hmm. Less than 20. Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to do that, they're going to need Tanya Harding's hitman. Go do some knee adjustments.
So we're already saying San Antonio and Oklahoma City is the championship.
Well, as long as Jaylen Brown, and pardon my French, doesn't lose his shit again, we'll be fine. I don't know what's going on with the Celtics with Jaylen Brown, but he must have that leadership anxiety where I can't be the leader anymore, so I'm just going to act out, for my pops and stuff. I don't know what's going on with him, but he needs to calm that stuff down. He's been playing pretty good lately, though. I'm just giving him heck for that one game.
Lakers have played well recently in the
West. Lakers have played outstanding lately. Yes, they have. Let's see. As far as what was there? Who's got the winning streaks right now in the league?
I think they've won 6 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. Your Knicks have won 4 in a row in the East. The Atlanta Hawks. Look at them. They've won 10 in a row in the East. Let's see. I think that OKC has won 9 in a row. The top three teams have been playing really well. OKC's won 9 in a row, Spurs have won 3, and the Lakers have won 6 in a row. Of course, you have the worst team, Indiana Pacers. They've lost 14 in a row.
And listen, the Wizards aren't going down without a fight, though. They've lost 13 in a row.
Yeah, they're trying to compete for that last spot there.
It might be tanking. I'm not sure. I don't, like to use that word lightly, but I
don't think Adam Silver likes you using that word
quacks
too
like
much
a duck.
either.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can
It is
try
what
and
it is.
stop it, but it's still going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And on to your NHL. Let's see. In the standings for the Eastern, let me go by conference here. In the Eastern Conference, your top teams are Carolina, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Montreal, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders. Wow, Detroit's really fall off. In your Western Conference, it's Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Anaheim, Edmonton, and Utah. The Mammoths of Utah. I think that's an appropriate name for them. Not the hockey team, It's just,
I don't like it.
Hey, I guess that Seattle and Detroit are trying to act the same because they're both being hideous right now.
Yeah, I mean, somehow we're still holding that final wild card spot. It's funny, though, because going into last night's game, before getting smoked, the odds, right, they were what I think they were a point up or 2 points up. So now they're tied for that final spot. But going into the game, they were still only like I think it was like a 48% chance of making the playoffs, holding the wild card spot. So, it lets you know how hard their schedule is moving forward. They have the 4th hardest schedule to finish the season out. So the fact that they do have some, we'll call it inconsistencies in scoring, doesn't lend itself well for finishing strong. Plus, they're on a 6-game road trip right now that starts tomorrow.
So Robert gave you this question there.
Do they make it in? Man, it depends on which Kraken team shows up. If it's the team that goes on a run and wins, 9 out of 10, sure. If it's the Kraken that randomly finds their way to the bottom of the bracket all the time, no. And the worst part is you just never really know which one you're going to see. They've had these weird runs where they'll rattle off 8 of 10, 9 of 10, and then they'll go and lose 7 of 10. You're just like, okay, well, how do you bet on that team? Right? Like if you're in the middle of one of the runs, you're like, okay, they're playing really good right now. Let me feel good about this. And then, 2 games later, you're like, well, here we are.
So tonight in the NHL, the New Jersey Devils are playing the Rangers at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pittsburgh is playing Carolina at 7 p.m. Ottawa's playing Washington at 7:30. Dallas is playing Colorado at 9:30. That'll be an interesting game. St. Louis will be playing Calgary at 9:30. Philadelphia at Anaheim at 10. So those are your games for tonight. Yeah, I'm looking for. I might try to watch that Dallas Colorado game. I'm always usually, being from the West when Detroit was in the Western Conference. I kind of still have hatred for those teams in the West, but I just watch them anyway. But yeah, let's see. The Mammoth and the Kraken.
It's we're gonna get a team. The Sonics are gonna come back, so there's that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I thought Adam Silver didn't like that.
He doesn't. But the cities were selected, so now the official vote happens 24th, 25th.
So are you going to keep the name Sonics? Do you think they're going to keep the name Sonics? I'm going to put it to you that way. Do you think they're going to keep the name Sonics if they bring it to Seattle?
Yeah. So part of the extra litigation that happened in 2008 after they moved the team was we get to keep our history. So initially, we didn't get to keep anything. And when they first did it, they actually changed the record books to say 79 was the Thunder championship. Yeah, no, it was hilarious. So that went to litigation. Seattle wins. We get our history back up to 2008. And so it's all of the name, likeness, and history up to that point. So yeah, it will be the Supersonics again.
Oh, that's outstanding. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's going to be real good. Maybe Sean Kemp can go in there and cut go in there and cut the ribbon for the ceremony.
There'd be
him and all his kids.
Yeah. So honestly,
are there enough snips in the net for that?
I mean, there's the guys that would definitely be here for that opening ceremony would be Kemp, Peyton, Shrimp, and Coach Carl.
Yeah.
Those four guys have been the loudest proponents to get Seattle a team back. So there's no way that they're not involved in that opening ceremony in some way.
I was Spencer Haywood. What's going on?
What's that? Well, I mean,
Slick. Well, Slick might be dead.
Yeah, I was going to say he did this year.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so Slick can't make it, but let's get Spencer Haywood where he goes to.
Wow, Keith.
I'm going to go back to sleep.
Anyway, and it's cool too, because I know the WNBA was going through the same kind of change. They were going to add more cities, of course, if they still have a league by that time. But I was really looking for them to bring it back to Detroit Shock, because I think that was going to be in the same case, because they're going to be having a team in Detroit with, I think it's 2027. I think they're going to be in there. And that would be great, because, man, the Detroit Shock they were great. They got a street name. They got a street name for them, but they no longer exist. It's hilarious.
Shouldn't you take one of the franchises that might be struggling financially now instead of expanding? All these leagues want to expand and think that's the answer to, financial expansion, and it's not. Other than the initial hit of what they get for teams paying to get in their league.
That is a huge number, though.
It is a big number, but there's just too many teams in all these leagues now.
Well, especially the WNBA, considering the things that they're going through at this moment, I wouldn't be looking at expansion to be, something I'm putting out in the front when you can't even pay your players.
Agreed.
So that's not entirely true. So going into this year, or at the end of this last year, they hit the profit sharing for the first time. That's without their new TV deal. So they hit the revenue sharing anyway without it. So then going into next year, which is when the TV contract comes in, that's an influx of $200 million a year. That is an 11-year, $2.2 billion contract. So the financial end of it isn't a problem. And then they did officially get their CBA done yesterday. So the WNBA will go on as scheduled. The timetable.
Ratified? The players ratified it?
It will be ratified. Yeah. So there's still some small pieces that are getting fine tuned, but the main part of it is done. So now teams can talk to players and all of that. So that did happen yesterday. And so it does look like, the timetable is ridiculous, but it does look like WNBA is going to kick off when it's supposed to.
Awesome. Well, that's really good. That's really good news to hear. Wow. All right.
And just to show you how easy that was, Keith, I sent you the QR code.
Did you? Where'd you send it?
It's in the group chat.
And on that note, we're going to QR code this as a closing of this session of the show. Everybody have a very good evening. Do catch Keith coming up next. And everybody have a great evening. Peace.
Take it easy.
See you guys.